Hello. How are we today? This is a bit of an experiment for me. I'm going to draw a circle here. We are going to do a special draw a circle, and from here we're going to draw lines. We need to have 6 lines coming off. I'm looking around for a ruler. That I don't have a ruler, so the next best thing will be this. Bit of improvisation for today. One, two, three. In here, we're going to put a rose quartz. This is for you to work on for 28 days. In those 28 days, you're going to look around and look at areas of your life that you feel maybe should be cleared out by now. And the rose quartz is very powerful. It's gentle. And when they say powerful and gentle, they don't seem to go together. But what happens with energy is it can be powerful and straight to the point, like catching yourself or burning yourself by mistake or banging into something. That's powerful. That's your energy not taking any notice, and an action happens and it's painful. The gentle power of the rose quartz is at a slower pace, and it's not there to harm you or hurt you. It's there to guide you with loving care, to pick out the right ways, to give you time to think about little things, and then gives you time as well to look at yourself and think, I don't think that's really been working for me. Maybe I could fill that up with something new. And to do that, and to keep you on a way, a guidance, sort of a way to do that, I find that making a little chart, simply there, a nice round circle, and have 6 areas which you can fill in. And when you start, just fill in what you think the areas are going to be, and then you can break those areas down. And once you start, you'll find those areas will very quickly start coming to you, what's wrong in each of those areas that you need to change. It's very, very profound. So in here, I've done one already for myself because I've started it already. I'm actually working on this with clients. So you can come to a healing session with me for Reiki crystals. I give out clairvoyance, various things. And different aspects of our lives keeps interrupting the healing. And there are problems sometimes letting go of the past, because we're not sure what the future will be like, and we're not sure if we want to fill up our past and add to it. You're not quite adding to it, but you're sort of having to let go of things. If you've had them since childhood, or even yesterday, and you know after yesterday's occurrences and chaos, that wasn't really good for you, you can change it. Energy and time don't really have an existence Time certainly doesn't. But when I say it doesn't have an existence, it's obviously here because we can function. We can function with energy, and we need energy to function. And we need energy to interact. But we don't need time. That doesn't exist. It's made to exist, so you turn up at 9 o'clock for your appointment. You turn up at 8 o'clock for work. You go somewhere and someone says, I'll meet you for lunch. I'll meet you for the dentist. We'll go down the gym. You've got to be at school. You've got to be here. You've got to be there. They have times on it so that there's a framework which you can work in and which thousands and millions and trillions of people also do the same. But nature itself doesn't work to any time limit. When people say, oh, they forecasted that to happen in 2020, nature doesn't work to 2020. It may have been written and something went on in that time zone, but no one could have known that was the time zone it was going to happen in. Because there's no such thing in time in nature. Nature will do what it wants to do when it wants to do. But if enough people project the thought from the day it was written, and somebody turns it into a myth or a story or a legend, then that will happen. That's how powerful people getting together is to work things. So to break that power and turn it back into the magic of nature, you come off the mind-bending thinking of everybody, and you turn your mind-bending thinking to yourself, your inner self, how you were made, how you are, how you have developed, and you leave alone attachments because they're fundamentally damaging. They can make you believe anything, and in the end you don't know what to believe. And the body is covered, breaking down constantly, trying to get through its life as nature intended it to be, because of your will and your want and your actions. For your human body, it's an uphill struggle. For you, you're there, down there. You want to be up there, free of all these constraints and enjoying the real life that Earth has to offer. It doesn't just offer that real life to the very few people. That real life of sheer fun, happiness and enjoyment is available to every single person on the planet all the time. It's just waiting for people to break free from their constraints so they can enjoy all of these lovely gifts. And this is just one starting point, or one more that you may have tried to get you somewhere, that's called freedom. So, for this first month, we're going to start with Rose Quartz. So in the centre, I am going to write Rose Quartz. And put that there, so that I know that for this whole month, I want to work on a very, very gentle energy. I don't want it in my face. I don't want to be going, oh, whoa, what's that? Or something coming in my face and going by me like that. I don't want that. There are crystals for that. And if they're not shifting, that's where you're going to go. And we all have to have that type of energy come to us, because after a while, if you've been asking and asking for something and it's not coming, then that's the crystal you're going to need to make sure it's in your face. Like, whoa, my God, that was close. Oh, what was that about? What was I thinking? What were you thinking? What were you not doing? What should you have been doing? And how does that relate to you getting to where you want to be? This is very gentle, just to get you confident enough to trust your intuition, trust your human body, and not what you think you've always trusted, someone else's answers, someone else telling me they can do that, someone else helping there, someone else carrying my bag, someone booking my flight up for me, someone getting on the train and saying, we're in this carriage. No, I can actually manage it. I can get on the end carriage and walk all the way through to the other carriages. That's what you want to trust, that whatever happens in your life, you can do it and join up with other people. It's important to be free and know that you are capable of being just you. You can feed yourself, look after yourself. You can go places on your own. You can look after a dog, look after this, look after that. Doesn't matter what you're looking after, but you can do it. Doesn't mean to say you have to do it all the time, but you know you can do it. You know you can hold down a job, whether it's a really, oh wow, job everyone talks about, oh Christ, that slavery job. Whatever it is, you know you can do it. And not only that, you have really worked hard to make sure that when you did it, you were good at the top of your game. Then you go on and on until you say, I can't do that anymore. I really can't do that anymore. It really isn't for me. I need something else. Then you've got to find it. Look inside of yourself, and you already have a story. Now you need to see where that story is going to take you. So we're going to start here with rose quartz. And at the top, we're going to put down write down 6 areas of your life you'd like to change. So 6 areas of your life you'd like to change. What I'm going to suggest here is health. We'll make that quite a big band. And in here, we're going to put wealth. And in this one, friendships. And in this one, mentoring. And in this one, I'm going to put, in this one here, work. And in this one, fitness. Now, when you come to make this yourself, you can put into it anything you like. Don't have to put what I've put in at all. I've put in that because I feel they're the sort of categories that I'd like to look at. So, health. There are several things I don't do right in my health. I'm not very good on my fitness, but I'm definitely not very good on eating. So with health, I'm going to put a / and I'm going to put food. Because my health definitely helps with food. Wealth, friendships. So once you've got your sections, you've got 6 sections, you're then going to number them. And you could number them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or randomly put your numbers wherever you fancy. And on mine, I'm health, I'm going to call that number 1. Put a big circle around it. And wealth, I'm going to call number 2. Big circle round. Friendships, I'm going to call number 4. Mentoring, I'm going to call number 5. Fitness, I'm going to call number 6. And work, I'm going to call number 3. Then to help me discover how to go forward from here without me guessing, I'm going to draw some angel cards. Now for this, as I did mine earlier, I pulled out different packs, different suits. So one of them I used the gemstones, another one magical unicorns, and the other one messages from mermaids and dolphins. Messages from, I think that's. So my first one I had was Archangel Chumul. So I had Archangel Chumul, and this was for health, because I started with 1. And my heart is open to giving and receiving love. I transform the world around me through focusing my energy and intentions on divine love. Every word I say and every thought I think travel on the frequency of love. So that's my health one. So in here, the archangel that's going to help me so if I write part of the card on here and keep the cards out, then throughout the month I can keep going back to the card and reading it to myself, because as I work through it I can see how things can change, and the card might mean different when I come back to it. On the back of these ones, because they're gemstones, archangels, guardians of the gemstones, it's got watermelon tourmaline. And this one is, are you looking for romance? Do you need more attention and affection? It is time to nurture yourself and treat yourself the way you want to treat others to treat you. This is a good time to rev up your self-acceptance and increase your willingness to allow more love in your life. Now, in that could be romance or attention, but I always, when I saw this, I wasn't thinking of relationships or any of that. I was thinking more of people, and it's learning more about the people around me who I've already met, and maybe I don't really know that much about them. I'm not trying to delve in and be nosy or anything, but it's nice to understand a bit more about them and their likes. And although I've known them for years, their likes change. Their wishes and wants and things have all changed. I've known most of my friends over 40 years, and they're bound to want something different now, because 40 years ago we wanted completely different things. We've all grown up and we've moved along in life. I thought it's probably time I had a refresh, and thought maybe I should ask some more questions again, instead of listening and taking it all for granted like I did when I first met them in their 20s, and we're now all popping into our 60s. So that was where I suddenly read this, and I thought it's to rev up my self-acceptance and increase my willingness to allow more love in my life. And I suppose I don't really, after a while, ask any more questions, and I just think, well, I know them. You know, they're my friends, I know them, but they'll have moved on. And some have been divorced, some have separated, some have remarried. So perhaps things have changed for them, and I don't really know that, because I've never asked. So that's where I'm going on that one. And myself as well. But what have I changed in me? What did I originally want? When I was at school, in my age, a lot of people got married very young indeed. When I say very young, between 18 and 22. Most girls had decided already to get married, have children, look after the family home until they were old and then go to work. And that was normal. People could do that. But that's changed enormously, enormously. In the different ways people have grown up, people didn't want to do that anymore. Most people, when they had the chance, when I got, I suppose, into my 20s, suddenly there was this great big boom not to do that at all. The boom was, you can have your own life. And women did. They went out to work and they stayed working. Children were born much later in their lives. Late 20s, going through to their 30s, late 30s. Lots of women wanted to have a more chance of no hold-ups, no encumbersome, and they went off. People went travelling, did their own thing, men were the same. I think now it seems to be a lot more young people are much more want friendships. I think relationships are still there, but it seems to be a lot more friendships there, and then lifelong relationships, whether that go into children later. But with all the turmoil and the currencies and how things are, that seems to have changed. So looking at your life and deciding what needs doing and being open to receiving love, it's not so much someone coming and loving you, it's just love of life itself and what you want to do with it. I mean, when you're younger, you've got everything in front of you, you can do anything. But as you get older, your mind's still capable of anything you want to do. But my body's not quite so eager. I got lots more pains, lots more problems doing things, so I'm slower. So now I've sort of got to change things a little bit. I can't be just quite so get up and go and get out there. So when you look at your life and your friends, keeping on top of what's going on in their lives and in your own life, which you're happy to share, is good. And having people around your house, entertaining, going out for walks, taking the dog out, you've got animals, sharing your animals' lives with other people if they've got animals' lives. Just generally chit-chatting to people is lovely. And that keeps love in your life, because you're sharing ideas and hopes and you're learning from that. You can just do that all your life. Just need a job as well, but you can do that and enjoy life, and that's a rich, full life, full of abundance. So my next card was wealth, and my next card I pulled out was change. Change. My next card I pulled out for wealth was change. And this is a unicorn card. The changes that you're going through are positive. So for wealth, the changes you're going through. There are a lot of changes that I'm going through, I have to say. I've got back in love with music. And I haven't yet started my bish bash bosh thing, but I've got a tambourine, I've got an African drum, I've got a ting-ting, I've got lots of things, got a little singing bowl, and I've got a crystal singing bowl. I do sound bath meditations, I do guided ones as well. I've got a timber harp. So suddenly I've got into listening to music, listening to the music of the trees when they're blowing around in the wind and running water, and how nature creates a symphony, an absolute symphony of music, and I'm starting to create mine here, and people are enjoying it, and that's really warms my heart. So that's one change, and the other one is I've become really creative again and gone back into art. I have a thing called the guided brush on Instagram, and I think the guided brush is on Facebook. So, and that shows art that I used to do, animals and trees and places, and it's just an expression of myself, what I love to do. So when that card came out, change, I thought that's true. So I'm changing myself, and I'm I'm showing a bit more vulnerability because I would not normally put this here. I have these thoughts and write them down, but I don't usually show my thoughts that I've written down, but this is one of them. So in your wealth place, right here, change, so that when you go to the cards, you'll know which card is for what. Friendship, I had happy thoughts. This is a beautiful card. It's another one from the Unicorn pack. I think it's Magical Unicorns by Doreen Virtue. And that's the card. It really is beautiful. And that says, to feel happier right now, think about a memory or something else that makes you smile. And this is for friendships. And there are a lot of thoughts in my friendships. I've had friends that I still see since secondary school. I go out with every so often. We go for meals down the pub, or we go around each other's houses. I have friends that I met when I first started hairdressing, and all the other girlfriends, I suppose, then came from friends when I was in my 20s with my partner's friends. And then I've just gathered them, and they've gathered me as I've worked in different places, like you do with friends, really, and they stay with you for life. It's just amazing that some of my friends I had from a wedding shop. I was a manageress of a wedding shop for 8 or 9 years, and people came in to buy dresses, and my mum and I ran wedding fashion shows, and I used to pick the models that would obviously be brides coming up. And they stayed friends. We went on, one of the girls and we always had our children at the same time. Just really funny things happen. You know, you meet people, you never know how. So in the friendships, put down happy thoughts. And then as the month goes on, see how many happy thoughts you can have. And with which friends. And you don't have to write your friends all on your piece of paper, because you know who they are, but you can always have a journal, and in your journal you write down friends, and you can put down those friends and think of the happy thoughts you've had with them, and I'm sure other friends will have come in by that time, or other thoughts even that you'll love. And they might change as you've gone through. You might wonder, I wonder where they are now. Gosh, I used to have so much fun with that person. And there might be a way of finding them on the social media platforms. But otherwise you just think, I'm the same to them, I'm not in their lives anymore. But boy, we had a really good time. Absolutely fantastic time. Then you'll realise just how many people you have known in your life, and the richness that has brought to you. And you've possibly brought to them as well, because they stayed friends, but you departed for who knows what reason. You never really know. Mentoring. Now mentoring, I put on mine because I've had lots of people help me along the way. When I first started hairdressing, one of the hairdressers there took me under a wing and taught me I was supposed to stick up for myself, be a bit more punchy and a bit more, not putting up with that. She was lovely, absolutely lovely. I left there and I sort of kept in touch with her. But over the times we both went out, she moved down, fun enough, down to the south coast with her husband. And then unfortunately died of a blood clot on the brain. Which is very sad indeed. And I've had, through different jobs, people mentoring me, helping me, when I really didn't know much about the job or whatever. And the job didn't have a mentoring person. You get to some jobs, you can't know it all. You have to really sort of try and find people that will help you out. And in turn, you help them out. Or even new people, and realise that you can do mentoring. You may never have thought you could, but suddenly you think, oh, I coached that person, or I mentored them. They came to me for help. So many things that you'll find that you can do, that you hadn't even realised you could do. And you did them with confidence. You probably didn't even think about it at the time. So on mentoring, I got Archangel Raziel. And Archangel Raziel says, I have a deep understanding of myself and the circles of life around me. I am aligned with the divine. I am profoundly clairvoyant and extremely intuitive. I clearly comprehend the details of everything that is set before me. I feel peacefully empowered. And the stone is Charoite. Chariot. It's funny. I'm sure it's been around for donkey's years, but it was never on the scene when I was learning my crystals. In my crystals course, I suppose they can't teach you the 1,000, 3,000, 8,000 crystals there are in the world, so they go into a few. Are you finding that life is out of control, and do you need to sort out exactly what's going on to get the reason for the chaos? No, would be the answer to that one. Take the time to go within and call on the ascended masters, spirit guides and angels to provide you with the inspiration you need to transform your life. That's the crystal. And that's the other side of the card. This again is the Archangel Guardians of Gemstones. It's a really beautiful pack. So for mentoring, that's going to go in. So mentoring, I'll write. So even if I put these cards away, I would know where to go to get them. What's that one? Then I've got fitness. And for fitness, I have lapis lazuli. Are you listening to your inner guidance? Let go of the extra stress in your life. Release obstacles that cause frustration. Align with the angels and allow divine orchestration to light your path to bring you to the right place at the right time. Flow and allow your inner guidance to show you the way. Listen to that still, small voice within you in order to find the answers you seek. And this is Archangel Michael. And he says to me, I am focused. I see, sense, feel, and know the truth. I follow my intuition. It is easy for me to meditate. My entourage of angels orchestrate my life. I receive messages all the time and follow my internal guidance system. Wisdom is innate within me. And that's lapis lazuli. It is the most beautiful stone. It's blue and it has lines and flecks of gold running through it. But you look at it and it's a marvel. It is such a beautiful blue. It really is lovely. So this is for fitness. Am I listening to my inner guidance? Possibly not. I have started to do more fitness now. So as I say, if you write down what's on the cards as the titles, you'll be able to go back over it. And the last card for this group is self-employment. And it says, you're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. For sure. So again, self-employment. So again, with this one, I will be listening out and watching what I do and seeing where that takes me. So when you've finished, you should have something that looks like that. And if you put it somewhere where you know it's not going to be touched, you can then, around the edges, put your cards in the places. And then leave that and then come back to it. And this is the first way to empower your life and change it. By putting these down. Don't have to go into it yet. As each day comes along, different things will come to you, and then you'll think, that's to do with, come back to your book, have a look what's written, and then write a line above of different things that have come to you, and then work out. And you've got a whole month. Doesn't have to be, we're lucky, we've started at the beginning of this month, so we've got the whole of September, but it can be any part of the month, and then it's just run it for 28 days. And then at the end of 28 days, do you want to keep running it on these things, or would you like, you might feel you'd like things to happen to you quicker, or you really do need someone going in your face. And as I say, there are crystals who will give you exactly that. You can stay with gentle, but after 3 months, you should have completely and utterly changed your life. And you should be climbing and aspiring to much more, and still using this idea. So we're going to give this to the end of this month, and we'll come back and we'll see how we're getting on. So, all systems go.